Hello and welcome to the third installment of the paper mache thingy. So when you're watching this, you should have already completed step 1 and possibly step 2. I think this is the third installment. If it isn't, oh well. Here's your goopy soupy mix, and you're also going to need some kind of towel to squeeze out soupy mix, and you're going to need this or something like this. You can let this air dry naturally, but for this one I'm choosing it not to air dry naturally. Okay, so before I get started properly, I want to show you, here's one I prepared earlier. This is this was done on a pot lid, and this is just the soupy goopy mix with nothing else in it. Nothing else on it, right? Just making sure it's very focused on that. And you can see, like, this is not very good. I can still see writing. That's not good. But this is the kind of finish. This is all smooth against the metal, and this is lumpy and bumpy. Now, I'm going to add something to my mix, and I'm inviting you to try it too if you'd like to this time. I'm going to add this PVA glue. Yeah, so I'm going to add PVA glue to my mix just to see what the heck happens, and I'll show you how to do that. But you don't have to do this step. Quite clearly, if you don't do this step, it actually works still, yeah, and it holds together. It feels like the old style pizza boxes that used to be round. Anyway, okay, so to start off with, you're going to need to take your soupy disgusting mix and you're going to need to tip it on the towel. Branding much. Okay. All right, it's come out pretty cleanly, which is pretty good. And I'm going to wash that because the black newspaper stuff gets on everywhere. So, this looks delicious. I'm actually going to now gather this up. I'm going to gather it up, and I'm going to have it like that. And all the water's already starting to drip out of it. You can see it's a bit wet there. And I'm going to squeeze it out. And I didn't show you that because, quite frankly, my dinner dishes are still in my sink and I'm not cleaning them. I'm making videos. Yay! I've squeezed it out and I'm left with this squishy grey matter. So I'm going to do that, and I'm just going to take some of my PVA glue. I'm just going to tip it on it, and I'm going to mix it through. And my hands are going to get quite dirty doing this, so just be aware. I mean, you might want to do this outside. That's a really good idea to make, you know, parents, I almost said parentals, parents not mad at you. So you just do this. I'm mixing it all through, smushing it with my hands, and I'm just doing it on the towel because I'm going to chuck this straight in the wash afterwards. You may wish to put it back in the cup and do this as well. You're allowed to do that. Okay, so now I've got that mixed through. I'm going to actually get here's my pan. And I'm using the back of it, if you notice, because I want the inside, the top side of my little containers, I want them to be smooth. So I've finished mixing this through, and I'm just going to smush, and play with it. So I've decided to make with this. You can decide to make whatever you like. I've decided to make with this little, like a jewelry holder thing for Erica. She just loves putting trinkets in places, trinkets in things, you know. So this is me enabling her future hoarding by making her a little trinket thing. So this is my plan. You make lots of stuff out of this sort of moldable compound, and then it'll be air drying, a bit like the air dry clay Scarlett was talking about today. All right, so if I like the look of it there, molding it, now I haven't taken too long doing this. You can actually get it to be a lot smoother and a lot nicer, but I know where it is going to be nice and smooth. It's going to be nice and smooth on the underside because that is the side that's up against the hard flat metal. So I'm definitely making sure. And once it's dry, once it's in this dried state, I can cut that I can do other stuff to it, paint it. All right, so that's one. I'm gonna do another one here. Oh, that's too close to it. I'm not gonna do it there. I'm gonna do it here. So you can actually just leave this to air dry, but I'm impatient and I'm experimenting with this for another project. So I want this to dry overnight. So I'm going to stick it in my oven at 50 degrees and I'm going to leave it for 12 hours overnight, right? It's about 7 o'clock now. Erica's just gone to bed so I can experiment without thousands of questions. So I'm going to leave it until I get up. So it'll have about 11 hours because you know she's waking me up at 6 a.m. Joy. So this I can't quite get to how I want it to be. All right, so now I'm going to chuck these in the oven. I've got a setting on my oven that is 50 degrees. You can actually just let them dry out over the course of, I don't know, a week or two. It can take a while, especially if it's a thick layer. I'm happy. I like that one better, actually. I'm happy with that one. Yeah, anyway. So this is what they look like, 1 and 2. I'm chucking them in the oven overnight and I'll finish this video tomorrow morning and you can see what it looks like. Okay, so we have the semi-finished product, and I say semi-finished because these are really hard. So because I put glue in them, they've got a different finish to this one. This one, listen to this. It's a lot more spongy, a lot more forgiving. The surface isn't as, the surface is more porous. This here, beautiful and hard. The glue has given it that extra hard quality. So experiment, see what you can come up with. I've got 2 here. I can now, oh, hang on, ready? I could do the Monty Python skit with the coconuts. Whoa, Patsy. Anyway, so there you go. That's what you can make. 2 little bowls, or get creative, mold anything you like out of it. I'm actually going to do a separate one. I found some white tissue paper. This white tissue paper, I'm going to munch this up and see how this molds into something. So that'll be like part 5 of the epic saga of the paper mache thingy. All right, stay tuned for part 5. Bye. All right, Munchie's toasty's done.
There's no plate.
No plate, but look, ready? Cheese
Whoa.
toasty. Cheese toasty.
Now let's watch the video.
Sure, let's watch the video.
Come.